Who did Trigger play first? Saro has played twice. Obviously lost to Max, beat Showtime. Rainer has played once. Rainer has to play next week again. Who did Trigger play in the last BBB that he played in? Why did I forget? Was it? No, it was not Elaser. Elaser played Nicorakt. Did he play Spirit? No, right? What did I make Trigger play last time? Obviously, in January, this was back in December, because January was so busy with all the offline events that we had to go to. He did play Spirit. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought it was, but that is legitimately like 35 best of 5s ago for me, so it was hard to remember, but he did win. I do remember that.
Let's get it on. Round 1. Fight.
Here we go. The man who arguably played the most entertaining best of 3 of the entire month of January. That was so packed with a gazillion online and offline events. His series against Rainer will be remembered for a very, very long time of the Big Gabriel Cup. Hailing from Poland, also went to Homstory Cup. It is Krystianer. Apparently having a very good head-to-head record against his opponent. But his opponent is on a bit of a rampage, entering 2026. Been a very strong start to the year. For this man, it is Basilisk Trigger. I already have Trigger's next opponent ready, by the way. Whoever I asked was not available for this Friday, but said, next time Trigger plays, send me in. I said, alright, deal. Makes my life easier. Is it Coco? Coco doesn't do friendly fire. Coco is a team player. He's good friends with Trigger. He doesn't do that. He will take down Lino, but he will not take down Trigger. Krystianer has a proxy pilot, but it's a bit of a fake proxy, as the probe has left and has gone towards the natural / main base. Stalker sentry on the side of our Polish Protoss, a double stalker on the side of Trigger. I will not be surprised if Trigger is going to bust out some Trigate Robo. You can obviously even build the Robo at home. But this is a very large map, so out of all the maps, when it comes to building a Robo in your main base, if you want to Trigate Robo, this would definitely not be my choice. It could still be kind of good if you want to go for like the pure Stalker Prism one, but I don't think that's what Trigger is going to go for. Trigger just doesn't want to expand before he knows what's up. Before he is certain that his opponent is not doing it, and he's actually going to build the Robo. Okay, we'll keep an eye on it. You can see the Trigger is scouting everywhere, just trying to figure out, like, is my opponent actually expanding? Or did he proxy something that I truly need to scout early? He's taking out the scouting probe of Krystianer. Now, the fact that your opponent has a hallucinated Phoenix is obviously a bit of a tell that they are expanding. We are going to trigger Robo. Takes a long time though, guys, on this map to send your Prism to the other side of the map. Gives Krystianer plenty of time to have the correct response. I would love a shield battery here. Trigger should be careful. This is not a fight you want to take with 4 Stalkers, by the way. You think you want to take this fight, but you really don't want to take this fight. I do not like this trade for Trigger, guys. I mean, he is going to kill some sentries, and because of the hallucinated Phoenix, we actually lacked a force field. That went about as good as it ever could have gone. We lost 2 Stalkers, we killed 3 sentries. It's about as much as you can ever hope for. Krystianer has 1 more force field there. I think he kills everything. Trigger, his scouting probe is a little bit ahead. He's building an Immortal. An Immortal from home is going to take so freaking long. I don't think I like this. I really think it's better to go War Prism, pure Stalkers. It's gonna... What are the probes up to, by the way? Why do there are so many probes out here? Well, it is. We do have a War Prism. But there's a shield battery coming online as well. Guardian shield is used for here. Maybe the sentry will get picked up. That is a sentry number 4 that has died, but Krystianer can definitely take this fight. Does not want to lose this. Oh, the Zealot is some really good bait. For a split second there, I thought he was able to get a full volley off on the War Prism. This is so awkward if you trigger. Like, what the hell do you want to do? You want to really wait until this guy makes it to the other side of the map? By the time he's here, this Robo is also pumped out an Immortal. Okay, Force Field could be useful. The Force Field is useful. Gets the Stalker. War Prism is going to take some damage here. Trigger obviously threatening the main. He's got his Immortal now, but it is an Immortal against an Immortal. Obviously, the War Prism is useful. He's going to try to activate the barrier, but the second Immortal is out now as well. Fighting one Immortal is doable. Fighting two Immortals is so hard. Trigger now dropping his own expand, but it's going to be so late compared to the expand of Krystianer. Okay, Force Field is cute, has potential. Krystianer, honestly, I wouldn't hate it if he builds a couple probes. Like, we're sitting at 400 minerals. I absolutely believe that you can build batteries, units, immortals, and probes at the same time. He's got the probe on the other side of the map, so he knows about the timing of the expand. Have to be careful. The Stalkers of Krystianer here. Krystianer's also jumping on the army of Trigger now, saying, I know your War Prism is not there. Which means that I can dive on your Immortal, I can dive on your Sentry, and the Polish Protoss is off to a mighty fine start here in game 1. Also killed another Stalker. Just looks really good. Might get the War Prism in. No, he won't get it, but... I mean, way quicker expand. Immortal count is 3 against a 0. I don't really know how Trigger ever deals with the counterattack. I feel like that is just not doable. Krystianer is building a Twilight Council, so he's got a bit of a backup plan, but he gets a Sentry for free. Yeah, I think that Trigger's build was just not optimal for this map. It's a little bit risky to lead the charge there with the War Prism. One Immortal is gonna get saved. No, it dies inside of the Prism. Okay, Krystianer is actually throwing here a little bit. This was a very awkward fight, and now he's not committing to the remaining bit of this fight. That was a bit of a throw, guys. Losing 2 Immortals and a War Prism like that. Ay. Means that we still have a game. A game that I think still looks good for Krystianer, all things considered. Ooh, he's gonna turn around and dive on the War Prism, but he doesn't get it. Nice save with the Immortal. Wow, Trigger gets another Immortal. Holy smokes, what a save. Krystianer definitely throwing at this point. He was throwing a little bit earlier. He's throwing a lot now. Does still have Blink on the way. Has never rebuilt an Immortal. Turns around on the high ground there. Snipes the Prism. Very difficult for Trigger to continue chasing without a War Prism, but he does get 2 more Stalkers. Yeah, I mean, this was a bizarre fight. But obviously the move that Krystianer pulled here, where he picked up the 2 Immortals, he dropped it here, exposed the Prism, lost the Prism with an Immortal inside of it. It was a little bit reckless. Maybe in his mind it was just mega over and he was just going to drop some units in there and a move and he's going to be fine. I still think it's very playable for the Polish Protoss because he does have Blink coming online, but down in workers now, that should have never happened. How did they do the server, by the way? Game 1 is on Central. And game 1 on Central, game 2 on West, game 3 on Central, game 4 on West. Nice move here by Krystianer, who obviously needs to start finding a victory after taking a couple of big L's. SimCity here is kind of cute on the side of our Canadian Protoss. Makes it difficult for these adepts to get in range. So cancel the shade, and that's exactly what he does. Still gonna get an easy 5 probes here, maybe even 6 or 6 or we're gonna get 7. We can get 7. We get 7. What a gamer. He was definitely doing it. Krystianer strikes me as a guy who sits behind his computer, takes his mouse or his hand off the mouse, and he says 6 or 7 probes. Make it 7. Trigger firing up Resonating Glaive Adepts is interesting. Good against Krystianer staying on 2 gases forever and spamming Zealots, but that's not exactly what he's doing. He's on 3 gases and he's spamming Blinky Boys. And this is actually a fantastic catch for Krystianer. Showing up at the halfway point. Now Trigger is just committing to his move out on the other side of the map. says, F it, I've got 3 Immortals, I've got a Sentry, I've got a couple of Adepts. I'm gonna base trade here a little bit? I don't know. No, we have used a recall, big old recall. Is there a Warp Prism? There should be somewhere. Honestly, Krystianer has so many Stalkers. I think he can blink on this, man. I actually think he can blink on this. He doesn't want to do it, but I think he could have. He is forced to cancel his Nexus. You can blink on this. Who is bringing his Warp Prism back? A very eventful game 1 of the main event. 11 minutes, non-stop battling. Looked promising for Trigger, looked amazing for Krystianer, looked promising for Trigger again, and now it's just a bit weird. Canadian Protoss tiny bit out of position. It's not his entire army. Krystianer looks at that Nexus and would love to go for it, but he can't really go for it when the other Immortals show up. It's one of these moments where if you would have sent it immediately there, you kill the Prism, you kill the Immortals, obviously good. By the time the rest of the army makes it, we can just blink away, as Blink would have gone off cooldown. You can't blink on this anymore. No! What? No, you could have done that earlier. You can't do this now. He says I can do this, and he gets 1 Immortal. He's gonna get... Actually, he's getting a bunch of them rather quickly, but it's still 4 Immortals remaining. A couple of force fields are not bad. Holy smokes, that was crazy and reckless. Earlier there were a couple of opportunities where I definitely think he could have gone for a crazy blink, but this one I don't think was truly it. Well, Trigger is halfway to blink himself. He's gonna take a crazy fight near Warp Prism. He just moves his army forward. And he's just kind of powering through. It's like a little tush push, the Starcraft 2 version. In the spirit of our Super Bowl weekend. Stalkers now outmaneuver the army. This is just a bizarre game. A truly bizarre little game between Krystianer and Trigger, where at this point I would say it looks very good for Trigger as he's about to get his hands on his own Blink. And with the Immortals that have survived that previous fight and Blink, it's going to be kind of good. Now Krystianer casually makes it into the main base of Trigger. Nice pickup with the Warp Prism, but what are we going to do? How are we going to get out? Do we want to get out? Are we going to blink in? We're going to blink in. We're going to try to kill the Warp Prism and then recall. I hope you have energy for a recall, mate. Ugh. We do, but we leave 3 Stalkers behind. This is a game. This is most certainly a game where we have absolutely removed the S from the RTS. And we're just in real time. It's live, it's real time, and we're clicking buttons. Krystianer has immediately run to the other side of the map again, right when Trigger is kind of eager to move out. Krystianer, who has +1 done, +2 on the way, is again in the natural of Trigger. This time Trigger is like, alright, F it, this is going on for way too long, this is annoying, I just want to fight, I've got a bigger army. Base for a base. Krystianer blinks, finds a stray unit, he's in the main base. Where's that forge, by the way? Oh, forge is pretty well protected. It's gonna take a little while before +2 is done, but if +2 does finish up, that'd be insane. Using that Warp Prism to warp in a few more Stalkers. I don't think +2 is going to finish up in time. Krystianer is able to save at least a few of these workers. Did Trigger manage to save any workers? Oh, he saved a lot of workers. This game is just nuts. Like, there's no other way to put it. Soon, no one has a base. Nobody is mining. Krystianer does not have enough money right now for a Nexus, unless a Nexus is queued up somewhere, but I did not see it. Trigger does have enough money for a Nexus. Does not seem like Krystianer is looking to take a Nexus, as we are just attacking with our probes. It's got a few more. The 3-gate robot games definitely do hit a little different when there is something on the line immediately, when it's not round 2 of a double limb bracket or a tournament where they have to beat Clam, Hero and Max. It is different when there is a reward immediately at the finish line. 30 Stalkers. +2 did not finish up, but 30 Stalkers with +1 against 12 Stalkers with Blink, no upgrade, a War Prism, and 4 Immortals. Krystianer is definitely on the clock, because the trigger will be mining soon. Activates a barrier, cannot afford to lose a Stalker, has not lost a Stalker. Honestly, if you want to take this fight, I feel like you have to bring the probes too. Got a lot of probes there, that's like a decent amount of damage to soak up. Even if there are a couple of adepts in the mix with Resonating Glaive. Immortal is exposed. I mean, the one observer here, by the way, is so useful on the side of trigger. And there's nothing that Krystianer can do about it.
Base is under attack.
He should definitely bring the boys. The boys are coming, I think. Guardian Shield, and we're gonna blink away. Ooh, that means no Guardian Shield for the next fight. That could make a big difference, guys. That can actually make a big difference. So right now, if you're Krystianer, you're thinking, I want to get the Immortals, I want to get the War Prism. How do I... Oh, War Prism is in range. Ooh. Okay, that's a lot of barriers activated. This might be the best moment ever to go for it. A lot of barriers are on cooldown. The sentries do not have energy for Guardian Shield. This is it. This is it. Krystianer, the man from Poland, sends it and he gets the War Prism immediately. He gets the first of 4 Immortals. He gets the second one. He gets the third one. And I think Krystianer is going to do it, guys. He's got a lot of Blink Stalkers left. He's got +1. There is still 1 Immortal on the side of Trigger. That War Prism is going to get picked off as well, but only 1 Immortal remaining. 11 probes against 0, but the probes, they don't really matter. What a close game. 1 Immortal. No more Zealots. 2 Zealots, actually. But I think we can just try to out-micro this. 1 Zealot that was working on the buildings in the main base is now going to show up. And it's going to soak up a couple Stalker shots. Every single unit counts. What a game. What a start to this best of 5. That's pretty funny. I still think that this is doable for Krystianer. It's not easy, but 17 Blinky boys against 1 Immortal. Ooh, he's on the high ground. He's on the high ground? Why did we do that? Can he eliminate? Oh my goodness. Wait, only 3 gates? Wait, he can eliminate. Krystianer never built a building anywhere. Guys, Krystianer never built a building anywhere, so he could have actually eliminated his opponent potentially, but now Krystianer blinks on the high ground, gets the Immortal, loses a lot of Stalkers though in the making of this blink, but it is +1 against the 0-0. It is Krystianer with a few more Stalkers. Oh my, Trigger had a chance there. I mean, it is a lot of HP left, but... No, there was no building anywhere else. That was it. And obviously every single probe was sacrificed, but no, I think Krystianer has truly done it. Trigger has blinked into the main. Yeah, he didn't know. Obviously, normally that should have never happened, but Krystianer can continue to chase. 10 against 5 is just not doable, guys. In no universe. Even if Trigger was the moment an upgrade lead, 10 against 5 should never be doable. I mean, Trigger is just kind of running circles around Krystianer now, hoping that Krystianer can leave the doors open, but there's so much HP on 3 gateways. If you don't have an Immortal in the mix, if you don't have Zealots anymore and that crazy DPS, it's just not doable. After 19 minutes, it is going to be a 1-0 lead for the Polish Protoss. A truly sick, funny game. With a lot of plot twists. A game that could have been over at many different moments. Definitely should have been over a while ago when he moved out with all the Immortals in the Prism. But a GG gets called. Krystianer 1, Trigger 0. Man, I cannot believe that we never got like an assimilator even on the other side of the map. Didn't get a pylon, didn't get an assimilator, and we sacrificed every single probe. Trigger will be kicking himself for activating Guardian Shield earlier. When the 2 armies were just standing at each other, he should have not activated Guardian Shield, because the forward blink on top of 4 Immortals and a Prism and a Guardian Shield I think is impossible. But because we didn't have energy and then all the probes showed up and the War Prism was a bit exposed. Like the Prism can never be below the army, so it's basically the first target even against an A move blink. The Prism is incredibly important there. But a very fun game. A very, very fun, close, competitive game. And a 1-0 lead for their men from Poland. And we had a bit of a rough start tonight with that first best of 5. with the 4-minute game 3, the 4-minute game 2. The first game that, you know, had some potential, but was never truly ultra exciting. And then Goblin against Kalazur was off to a slow start, but game 3 was obviously fantastic. Game 4 was very good. And now game 1 of the main event is also very good. Safe to say that the Friday night has been saved. It has truly gotten very good. You know, Trigger had the Zealot working on those buildings all that time, but after he took a bit of a rough fight where he lost the Prism and 3 out of the 4 Immortals, he brought the Zealot over. And I think only after he maneuvered his army into the main base, he's like, hey, can I go? But you can't really kill 3 full HP gateways when your army is that tiny. Sergeant Sadsack won 3-0. Was unfortunately not quite the series that I was hoping for, but Sergeant Sadsack, I'm sure, is very, very happy. And that's what it's all about. He did what he felt like he had to do, and he got the W.
Round 2. Fight!
Yes, when he had more Immortals, he obviously could have gone into the main base. However, as people pointed out, at that point the probes were not dead yet, right? So then there's a chance that a building gets built elsewhere. And then Trigger would lose his advantage of, I'm the one with a Nexus and a mining base. You don't. So Krystianer was the one who was on the clock. So it was not up to Trigger to make a move into the main base and take the risk of, you know, losing your probes, losing your Nexus, while your opponent can just build a building elsewhere. Obviously, if you have full vision, there are a lot of correct calls you can make. But I think Trigger made most of the correct calls. I just think we kind of messed up a little bit in the execution. The Guardian Shield for nothing was a big mistake. Losing the Prism in the beginning of the fight was a big mistake. And that was potentially the beginning of the end. Bottom right side, down 0-1. But I hope he still enjoyed that silly game a little bit. It is our Canadian Protoss playing from Korea. So it is crazy late for him, but that's just the way it is. This is Trigger. Same goes, of course, for the Koreans that play in the Big Brain Bouts. Top left side having a very strong, historic head-to-head versus his opponent. And once more taking the 1-0 lead, the Polish Protoss, Krystianer. What a banger. What a triple banger in a row, guys. The PVT game 3, the PVT game 4, and now this first game of this series. It's like 60 plus minutes of what felt like non-stop battling. It's intense. But it was fun. It was fun, it was good. And I loved it. So should we hope for Clem Rainer? I mean, I think Clem will definitely be down if I ask him. I don't know if Rainer wants to play Clem again because they've played a decent amount lately. And with a decent amount, I'm definitely underselling it. They've played a crap ton against each other lately. They did a back-to-back-to-back series in the Big Gabriel Cup. Then they played on the Monday in the weekly. Then they played over in China in the semifinals. It's like, I think they might want to have a tiny break from one another. I don't know. I don't know what we will do with Rainer. I have nothing in mind for Rainer next week. I have nothing in mind for Cyril the following week. We'll just see. I know. I mean, Rainer Showtime is always good. And he really hates playing against Showtime at the moment, which means that you guys are in for a good show. But Showtime already played against Cyril not too long ago. I mean, it's not like I'm the big boss Doom Rat, so I obviously can't say what they can or cannot do. But in the past, they've obviously proposed it. We already did like a reverse race, Clem versus Rainer ones in the Big Brain Bouts. I can definitely encourage them, yes. And they would not mind. Obviously, they're always down for some memes. It's just, we don't always get to see a lot of games of Cyril. We don't always get to see a lot of games of Rainer. So if we do have them in the Big Brain Bouts, I feel like it's fun to actually see them play Zerg. Because that's obviously what a lot of fans like to see. Rainer Showtime reverse race would actually be quite fun. Knowing that Showtime has played a lot of Zerg over the last year and a half. Reiner has not played a crazy amount of Protoss over the last year and a half, but was obviously very good with his Protoss once upon a time, so that would be fun, but I don't think we're going to do that next week. Krystianer is making a move out with triple sentry, triple stalker, drops a lot of force fields, and it is right before the battery is done, but a lot of force fields doesn't actually mean we trap units. Trigger showed a lot of respect to that tiny move out, pulling the probes immediately as well. Obviously the Oracle was dealt with. Somehow the Oracle survived a fight with 4 HP. Pretty even start in the end. A pretty even start in the end. That is a good suggestion, Anna. I like it actually. And I think that Reiner wouldn't mind, and I think Gabe wouldn't mind. I think Gabe above, they have played against each other by the way in Big Brain Bouts, I think, but it's a long time ago. Gabe does not want to play against Protoss at the moment, but I think he kind of enjoys TVZ. And obviously he had a monstrous performance at the Home Story Cup, so yeah, I'll try. I just hope that Reiner is available next Friday, because I know Reiner has a bit of an off week. Now, I don't know if the off week includes the Friday night. If it does, I'll just respect it and we'll sit one out and we'll run it back the following week. I'd like to keep the order the way that we currently have it, so you guys always know who's next. But we'll think about it. We've got a week to talk about it. I'll send Reiner a message and see if he's done. Trigger has a Dark Shrine on the way as he continues to apply some pressure. Does not have Blink yet. Krystianer is actually the one who's going to get Blink real soon. There are some stasis traps here. Nice snipe on the sentry, nice snipe on the stalker, nice snipe on that stalker. We do lose one, we kill another sentry. Definitely a couple of decent trades here on the side of Trigger, but now Krystianer has Blink. Is he gonna Blink head first into a stasis trap? No. He just walks into one. But it wasn't with his entire army, to be fair. I don't know if Trigger should continue this fight, by the way, guys. If the idea of this fight is let's keep our opponent busy and make sure he doesn't think about DTs, it's a pretty good fight. If the idea of the fight is let's accomplish something, I really don't like it. Oh, this is bad, man. We're going to lose everything. Trigger is actually going to lose everything here. And if he loses every single stalker, then how likely is it that Krystianer will not be ready for the DTs? Right now, Krystianer is not ready, and he's actually building a second Immortal. That's definitely a mistake in my book. Like, you're already winning the stalker fight so hard, that at this point you have to ask yourself the question, what can I still lose to? And very often, the answer to that question is DTs, but Trigger overstayed his welcome there by like a minute. This is not it. This is really not it. Krystianer should see the shimmer here of the DT. He should hear it. He can immediately queue up an observer. And Trigger is in so much trouble. That was not it, guys. We also ended up losing that Oracle in the end. There was no War Prism here. There's no pylon connected to a gateway. Like initially the poke was kind of cute. But after that we should have gone home. We should have gone home like 3 times. This reminds me of someone in Krefeld, guys, that had an opportunity to go home at various moments throughout the night. Did not go home. And in the end, you just overstay your welcome. And in this case, it is Trigger who overstayed his welcome a little. Losing all the stars. Like, there's obviously no way to ever get home safely when your opponent has Blink. You don't have Blink. Well, Krystianer, man, is he like officially Trigger's nemesis? What's happening over here? Trigger just beat Clem, guys, in the quarterfinals of the Ronnie Cup. And now he's about to fall down 0-2 against Krystianer. The Polish Protoss makes the forward Blink. And he just has so much. Game 2, in the end, was all Krystianer after Trigger severely overstayed his welcome. Does finally have Blink himself. And the probes are doing a pretty good job here in keeping the stalkers busy, but there is no micro that's ever going to save Trigger here. And there's no anti-micro on the side of Krystianer that's ever going to hurt him. Even though, you know, we've seen Krystianer sometimes look absolutely goated for 7 minutes and then a little questionable in the next 2, but he's obviously totally fine here. GG gets called. Krystianer 2, Trigger 0. That was not on my bingo card, guys. That was most certainly not on my bingo. It's not over yet, but damn. Thank you to Dr_Kamon. Who's Dr. Kamon? Is that Shren? Is there a chance that that is Shren? Because Shren is a doctor, guys. Shren is one of the regulars at Home Story Cup. He showed up very late this time. He only came on Sunday. We asked him what was up. And he said he had a date on Thursday, but they just connected very well. So he couldn't make it on Friday, he couldn't make it on Saturday, but on the Sunday, Shren did make it to home, Storico. And Shren is a doctor, and he likes to let people know that he is a doctor. That goes for a lot of doctors. If I was a doctor, I would definitely let everyone know too. Instead, here we are talking about stalkers and probes. That's the guy with the magic tricks, yes. Apparently he taught Vicky a card trick as well. And Vicky pulled it off on me yesterday night and I was very confused. Only fair, sure, the man worked hard for it. Out of nowhere, Vicky is hitting me with a card trick on the Thursday evening. And Vicky is great at many things, but I don't quite know her as a magician. She's like, yeah, Shren taught it to me. Anyone here is a fighting game fan, make sure to stay tuned later tonight for the first ever Basilisk fighting game community Big Brain Bouts hosted by Justin Wong. In how many hours is it starting? What is the official start time? Maybe I can stay live until the fighting game Big Brain Bouts. I think it's various games, by the way. I think they have 3 different titles. These guys in the fighting game community, they display everything. 8 p.m. Eastern is 2 a.m. for me. Yeah, that's too late. I cannot do that. I can stay live for a little bit, but 2 a.m. is unfortunately a little too long. Unless this PvP somehow goes on for 4.5 hours. Yeah, guys, take a look at Justin Wong, his channel later. Here we go.
Round 3. Fight.
Bottom left side of Old Republic, we are looking at the main base of our Polish Protoss, who, in my eyes, surprisingly, the historic record would say not surprisingly, has taken a quick 2-0 lead. The Polish Protoss, 1 map away from a casual $200 on the Friday night. He will most likely say, thank you very much, this is Krystianer. Top right side, the man who got a victory over Spirit the last time he played in the Big Brain Bouts. I already have his next opponent lined up because we have an eager beaver that is ready. Let's see if we can turn this one around. It's our Canadian Protoss. It is very late for him, but he's been here before. It's Trigger. Vampire Savior, Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, and Street Fighter 6 tonight. If it wasn't at 2 a.m., I would definitely be checking out the City of the Wolves to see if somebody is fighting with Ronaldo. I cannot believe they got Ronaldo in the fighting game. It's not doing very well, I believe. Or fighting Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. I watched quite a bit of it, and I actually think it looks kind of fun. I think it's an enjoyable game to look at. Animations look good, graphics look good, characters look good, but seems like the world just loves the Street Fighter 6 and then a tiny bit of Tekken. And obviously the classics like Smash. Everyone will always love Smash. Krystianer up 2-0 is going to go for the Proxy Robo. Surprise Pikachu face, a shocker. Trigger is going to go for the in-base Stargate though. In-base Stargate on the side of our Canadian Protoss. Adept Stalker as an opener. So yeah, it's a specific taste. I don't know. I'm not a very big fan of Stalker Adept, but we've seen some of the best Protoss players in the world go Stalker Adept quite often. The Stalker is somewhat reliable at home, and the Adept is a great scouting tool. And that is obviously what Trigger is aiming for here. The Probe, though, might just find what we are looking for. It took a little while, but big scout. Do we go Phoenix here, guys? Do we go Oracle? Do we go Phoenix? I would like Phoenix. I think if you just play Phoenix Gateway perfectly from here, you can win. Trigger is going to go Phoenix. And you know, the best part about it is when your opponent doesn't know that you're playing Stargate. Thank you, Paul F. 2020 for the 32 months. I appreciate you, matey. 32 is not quite 33. But it is one of my favorite numbers. It's part of the 0 game for all the Degens out there. And I identify as a bit of a Degen. I can't help it. This is who I am. Trigger was on the hunt for that Immortal. Did not find it. 35 as well. 32, 35, and 33. Well, 33 is not, but it's a great number because of Max. Got a couple of great months ahead of you, mate. Here come the Phoenix, and we are going to lift that first Immortal immediately. That is a fantastic start. Grabs the Stalker as well. That's an even better start. You gotta love it. The only thing right now, guys, is that we don't have energy. But even if we don't have energy, the Phoenixes are not useless because they can just attack the Prism. Our Stalkers can battle his Stalkers. The Phoenixes can battle the War Prism. And I think we've got a series on our hands once more because this is a mega start. An absolute mega start. Alpha guy with the 33 months. Sure, I would love to play it, but I want to take a quick look to make sure that we don't make a tiny mistake. And we don't want to lose 2 Phoenix guys because they are expensive. But they are tanky. By the way, Krystianer cannot pick up every single unit here. He's going to lose his War Prism. They'll kill a Phoenix. Lose the War Prism. Now over a couple of extra Stalkers. This game is very chaotic. There are Stalkers in the main. There are Stalkers in the natural. And there were Stalkers running away towards, yeah, Timbuktu? I don't know. Middle of nowhere. Thank you, Captain's Bug is not for the 37 months and missed the shrine for the 1 year anniversary. And this one is for you, Alpha guy. What is it, a month? Less than a month? Can't wait. So ready for Australia. So ready for that incredibly sexy 4th Red Bull. Woo! It's gonna be great. Krystianer does snipe another Phoenix. Shine. I thought it said Shrine, mate. Dark Shrine. The mind is full of what the heart wants. Trigger, his production tab is full. Krystianer, his tab is empty. Krystianer just wants to battle. Probably a little bit fed up with this game. It's like, man, I hate 3-gate Robo. Whenever I go 3-gate Robo, I fly into Phoenix. It's definitely just very, very good execution on the side of Trigger. I think he handled this incredibly well. He definitely had the scouting advantage with the boulder advantage, but then you still need to capitalize on all of it, and the man certainly did. We've got a treasure train incoming. Does that mean we can hit the jackpot, guys? If we get 6 treasure trains, do we get a tiny jackpot? I guess we already got the Twitch jackpot in December. Twitch is done with us. I'm not exactly sure, guys, what Krystianer's game plan is here. The game plan seems to be, let's hope Trigger forgets to build units and... you know, we can somehow win with an incredibly basic army. This is the basic Protoss army if I've ever seen one. Couple of force fields will go down. I mean, honestly, it's a decent effort here by Krystianer. This is about as good as he could have ever hoped for. He's fighting right before Blink is done, but he feels that he's running out of steam anyway. He's done with it. Dropped the Nexus, but he had no chance to immediately... reinforce his army. Trigger gets 1 on the board, and we are not done yet. Is Treasure Train a new hype train? I don't know. I've never seen it actually. It does have an arrow down. Treasure Train. Unlock a limited time 35% off gift subs level 2. Ah, okay. So if we level up the initial train, we get discount on the gifted subbies. And now I've messed up my Twitch chat, so now I can't see anything anymore. This is a rare treasure train. We've got a treasure train. What is happening? Rexy! What the fuck? What the hell? I didn't even see that. My Twitch. I was trying to figure out the treasure train. The casual 100 gifted subs. Well, that is a treasure train. But I didn't even see it. Normally I see the entire list, but I clicked on the arrow down and my chat was all messed up. And I only saw the animation. Not 5 minutes after I said, come on, Mr. Shrine. You can't feel like that. You have to feel like, oh, that is so awesome. I support it, and then because we got something going, we got a big 100. You're part of the team effort here. Sure, the team effort is carried by Rexy, but, you know, it's still a team effort. We all came together for the treasure train. Don't look at it as a chance of you missing out on 1 month of a subby. Come on now. All aboard. Also a very fun slot machine. All aboard. I don't recommend it. More like you got one up. No, everyone's appreciated. It was a team effort. Sure, Rexy was in the center. He was doing some of the heavy lifting, but you were there, mate. We put in an effort together. Thank you so much, Rexy. You're such a legend. Appreciate it a lot. The game 4. We are not done yet. Can we get to another game 5? Is there a chance? Thank you, Alex, as well. Very sweet, the German. Alex, here we go. Score is 2-1 in favor of our Polish men on the Friday. That is a special Friday because we basically had a Solar BBB. It wasn't a BBB, but Solar is even matches in the afternoon. Right after that, we have our regular Big Brain Bouts. And then tonight, we have the Justin Wong fighting game Big Brain Bouts. I'm very happy, by the way, that today was not one of these nights where we somehow could not run a BBB. Because then I already know that some soccer fans can be so dramatic. It's like, did the BBB leave? And is it now fighting games only? It's like, no, guys. It's both. It's awesome. It's all the events. The fighting game, Big Brain Bouts, is not taking anything away from the Starcraft 2 Big Brain Bouts. Don't worry.
Round 4. Fight.
Bottom right side of 10k, one map away from winning 200 buckies for this best of 5, but he still needs to win that final game. This is our Polish Protoss, Krystianer. Also a strong start of the year for him. Just a very active month, busy month, seen a lot of him. Looks good. Top left side of 10,000 feet, we are looking at the main base of our Canadian Protoss. He's had a phenomenal start to the year, but he's trailing 1-2. Can we send it to game 5? It's Trigger from Basilisk. And Basilisk is one of the 3 Bs. You feel called out as a dramatic SC2 fan. It's all good, mate. That's why I did it. So you know there is nothing to worry about. And you don't have to think, oh no, fighting game, Big Brain Bouts, what does that mean? Is Basilisk leaving us? No. We ain't going anywhere. Just doing more in different games, different genres. You know, one day, if Vincent Kamer is not on the road 327 days of the year, then maybe Vincent Kamer can also run a chess Big Brain Bouts. It'd be really cool. But chess is just too busy, man. I have no... These guys are just everywhere. They're never home. Not even in my busiest SC2 year ever have I been half as busy as Vincent. This is like completely standard for these guys not to be home for like 2 months straight. Like, oh, this event, that event, that event. The events, they don't take a weekend, like, you know, Starcraft Home Story Cup. It's like, oh, arrive on Thursday, go home on Monday. Vincent goes to Tata Steel and he arrives in like the beginning of January and he leaves at the end of January. So, would you like to be 3 weeks in the Netherlands, sir? It's like, what? Yeah, I play chess. I met him and I asked, I was like, man, isn't it kind of crazy that they just want you guys to be here for so long? He's like, well, it's kind of what I do, right? He's like, I just play chess. And whether it's for a weekend or a week or 3 weeks, it doesn't really matter. Just play chess. It's like sick. It would take a ginormous prize pool to get StarCraft 2 game is somewhere 3 weeks. But it'd be fun. Indeed. One game a day. But that one game does last for like 5 hours and something minutes. It's a unique scene, but very intriguing and very fun. Trigger has a slightly quicker Twilight Council than Krystianer. Krystianer throughout the day has shown us that he really has no fear early game in PvP when it comes to running a couple of units to the other side of the map. Oh, it's a guy yapping into a speaker. That's a real airy mode. ENIAC at day 2 of the Home Story Cup is a perfect example of that emote. Nice force fields on the side of Krystianer, but Trigger, his shield battery goes through the Nexus, keeps the Stalker alive, and that is big. Now we are going to drop a force field. You go full Oprah Winfrey in this phase of PvP. I get a force field, you get a force field, I get a force field. Guardian shield, that's right, we both lose some units. And then in the end, it very often is a tiny bit of a wash. And I would say this is a bit of a wash, but it's a wash that I definitely favor for Trigger. Even if he ends up losing that final sentry, it's okay, because his blink is quite a bit quicker. Chess needs more maps. But what chess does have is a lot of very beautiful chess boards, right? A lot of the big content creators are releasing their own chess boards. I know Anna Kremling had one a while ago. Nemo recently released one. They're very pretty. Also a bit pricey, but technically you're getting a new map. It just plays out the same way. But can we keep the adapts out? Yes, we can. But the maps are new. The pieces are pretty. They got skins in chess. Good defense by Trigger, even though it may not feel that satisfying to him because I don't like, by the way, clicking on this mineral patch. Everything is gonna clunk up and has to go around it, so we lose a bit of extra mining time. It's very even now. I liked it a bit more for Trigger initially, but I think those adapts were quite solid on the side of our Polish Protoss Krystianer. Krystianer is adding a few more gates, by the way, it's going up to 5 gates. He's gonna send it. This man is gonna send it. Most of the time, if you send it off 2 bases, you do it with 6 gateways. Trigger really needs to scout this, guys. That is what PvP is all about. When your opponent is doing something that's just a little bit different than the usual sit at home and macro. It just really comes down to when do we figure it out. I like the extra pylon to power the robo. Immortal first here would be goated. Observer first is not gonna do all that much for us. The problem is, guys, because he lost all the sentries, right? Kudos to Krystianer, obviously, for killing all the sentries. In PvP, we truly rely on the hallucinated sentry scout over and over again. But because of Krystianer, his aggressive opening, they traded out sentries. You don't really want... This probe is a big tell, though. We immediately queue up the Immortal, but here's the forward blink by Krystianer, who's showing up with a 5-stalker advantage. Trigger's gonna have to guide back. The Trigger clearly did not expect. Okay, now maybe we can get a good fight with the probe, but I am afraid for Trigger that he's already lost a lot of important units that are hard to replace. Nice blink on the second stalker that we warped in there, but we did lose the first. We immediately need another Immortal, and now we need to keep Immortal number 1 safe. For a split second, Trigger needs to just buy some time. Krystianer is gonna dive on this Immortal the way that he dives on Lurkus. And anybody who's ever seen this man play a PvZ will know that he clicks on the first spikes he sees, and he's going to dive on that Immortal as well. But Trigger is going to get a second Immortal. He's got a few more Stalkers. Krystianer is doing a great job in jumping on the Stalkers that are being warped in that cannot blink away yet. But it's still 3 bases against 2. We've got a new Immortal. And with that new Immortal, do we have a game 5? It is definitely starting to look like a hold, but it's never over. When it's 6 gateways against 4, and it's obviously getting a little bit chaotic, and our entire game relies on an Immortal or a second Immortal. It's looking really, really, really good for Trigger, but I like that we're playing it safe now, like pulling the probes for a little bit. Krystianer is going to warp in a 3rd Nexus and a Dark Shrine. They both, you know what's funny, guys, that the exact same situation happened twice there in the middle of that hectic fight. Obviously, when you warp in units cannot move. Krystianer took full advantage of that, knowing that he can right-click with his entire army, something you normally don't want to do in a blink against blink fight, because if you send 20 volleys towards one stalker and the stalker blinks away, you're losing all the potential DPS. So attack moving and just blinking back is better. But Krystianer saw 2 stalkers being warped in. He jumped on it, kills the first one, but the second one got blinked back right in time. And then that same situation happened again here, with 2 stalkers being a little bit exposed. Krystianer doing the right thing, going for the immobile targets that do not move. But then Trigger having a very clutch save on the second stalker that was finishing its warping. Kind of funny. I felt like they both did a lot of things right there, but in the end, obviously, our Canadian Protoss is going to be happy with the fact that he stabilized. He does miss. There's a tiny Zealot run by, and that could become painful, even if we don't have charge yet. The slow Zealots, baby, they smack. Slow Zealots can also smack, and slow Zealots will turn into fast Zealots, and that's when we have to respect it, and that's when we have to recall. Let's not donate a War Prism. Yeah, the Dark Shrine is done. Only 1 Observer on the side of Trigger, guys. But obviously, Krystianer does not have our vision. I'm going to follow Krystianer's vision for a little bit. He might just... Oh my god, he's got 23 Zealots! The man's got 23 Zealots! Where the hell did he get 23 Zealots from? That is so many Zealots, and Resonating Glaive is not done yet. Krystianer is going to send it once more. And Trigger, who pulled off the fantastic hold, is definitely in a tiny bit of trouble now. Unit positioning is very good. The War Prism pickups with the Immortals are fantastic. And 23 Zealots has turned into like 7 Zealots. Wow, another sick hold, man. Holy smokes. Trigger is built different. The second fantastic hold. Now 3 DTs. Where is that observer? Observer is chilling. Accidentally started Glaives. No, Glaives is good, mate. Glaives is very good. That's definitely not accidental. Glaives is excellent. Look at this DT. Now this is an accidental fantastic scout. This is accidentally a fantastic scout. We have 1 observer on the map, and that is GG, by the way. I think Krystianer will just leave the moment he loses 3 DTs. Or maybe not. Maybe he's going to try, but that was a big investment. That was a really, really, really big investment. Krystianer is not going to leave, but I'm sure he knows that he's kind of cooked. Even though he's Krystianer, he can just magically summon 30 more Zealots. No one knows where he's getting them from. But he's down an upgrade, and he's working with, in my eyes, an inferior army. Even if he's going to get a couple Archons. Archons obviously like somewhat useful, but it's 15 Stalkers, 4 Immortals. Archons will have a tough time. Ooh, Warp Prism a little bit exposed. The Warping gets denied. Uh-oh. And we let the Adept Shade finish up. Okay, this is an abomination of an attack so far. I'm sorry, my friend Trigger, but there's no other way to put it. We shade away every single Adept and we lose the Prism. We get sniped seconds before the Warping finishes up. So Trigger is going to find a crazy amount of economic damage. That is great and all. But we lost all of our Immortals. We lost the Warp Prism. I'm so happy, actually, guys, for Trigger, that Krystianer is going home. I really think it's the best case scenario that Krystianer is going home to now play cleanup against all these Adepts, because that's going to give Trigger time to just warp in pure Stalkers. And pure Stalkers is completely fine against a guy that doesn't even have a Robo. Doesn't have any Immortals. We can go pure Stalker. And that's exactly what he does. That was a... that was a bit of a shaky attack, guys, but I think Trigger got away with it. Is now gonna get on top of the last fully saturated base on the side of Krystianer, and honestly, it's just a fun series, a crazy series. The PvPs where there is something on the line, they always hit a little different to me. And this was most certainly one of them. Bit of a base trade. Krystianer's army is technically better in the base trade, but obviously Trigger doesn't have to base trade forever. And also, if this really does turn out to be like an all-out base trade, the Stalkers can just kite 1 unit at a time, forever and always. And there is very little that Krystianer can do about it. He's just going to lose 1 Zealot at a time. He's going to lose 1 Archon at a time. This game may look dramatic, and it may feel like, oh, anything is still possible. But this is a 99% certain Trigger victory on this level. Like, if this exact situation takes place in Diamond League, it's like, hey, maybe Zealot Archon can win. Maybe the Stalker player does something wrong. But at the level that these guys are operating, this is basically always a victory for the Blink Stalker player. It is, I would say, impossible to lose it. Unless we just like have the biggest misclick ever, you know, like the accidental blink into the Zealot Meat Grinder. That shouldn't happen. Nice little recall here. I hope Trigger is paying attention. Trigger is paying attention. He is going to recall some, and he's going to run away the rest. Like, the mobility advantage is king here. It's just absolute king. You know, he's also going to cook Mark me tomorrow at that wall. I'm pumped. I'm going to show you, mate. Old man got moves. Trigger is going to lose a couple Stalkers here, and if we lose 10 Stalkers for nothing, I don't think it's going to get close, but we're making life a little bit harder on ourselves than it has to be, but it's still a Trigger win. Don't worry, guys. I know you guys are worried. Be like, Roddy, you said 99%. I know. 1 in 100 times it's not a Trigger win, but this is not that 1 in 100. Trigger is definitely making life so hard on himself by splitting up his army. I feel like he just wants to eliminate Krystianer. He's like, you know what I could have done in game 1? Eliminate you. I'm going to do that in game 4. It's a very complicated way of winning this game. Do we have a recall? No, there's no Nexus anymore. Like, he's gonna get eliminated. Like, now Krystianer has to run home. Oh my goodness. Can we kill every single building before the army is here? This is actually a lot of firepower, right? Trigger wants the elimination. Can he get it? He's gonna have to blink away again. That means that we donate an immortal. Okay, Krystianer is setting up the trap. It's actually kind of cute. Trigger is like, I'm not gonna fall for it. I'm not gonna blink into the low ground. I'll just blink on top of this tiny army. This +2 Stalkers against 0-0. This really is. That 99 out of 100 Trigger victory. Tiny bit of copium here on the side of Krystianer, but he knows it. This game is unwinnable. GG, we are going to game 5. Don't you love it? Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
Now these were some fun, even matches. Guys, we have no pauses available and we have ads to run. We used all 3 pauses earlier in a Goblin against Kalazur game that went on for an hour. So I'm going to have to take a very tiny 2-minute break, run the ads to make sure that you guys don't miss a game 5. I'll be right back. 2 minutes, game 5 coming up. Even though, because of Rexy, nobody's going to get ads. We can flip. Alright, I have to flip first. Krystianer. Heads or tails? We'll do it live on air. There will be no Basilisk bias. For the people who don't know what we are doing right now, obviously Krystianer wants to play on US Central. Trigger wants to play on US West because Trigger lives in Korea. So Krystianer picks head. And now we ask Google to give us a coin toss. Tails. Basilisk bias. I mean, I set myself up for that. It's unbelievable. All right, let's do it. Should be over 20 seconds. That's okay. It should be over. Well, really fun night. No, we had a slow start tonight, but second series awesome. Main event awesome. I'm happy with it. Very, very happy. As a Starcraft fan, I'm very entertained today. Krystianer is ready. Trigger is ready. Let's do it. Guys, the best of 5 has turned into a best of 1. A $200 best of 1. Trigger, Krystianer, White Rabbit. For all the marbles, do we 3-gate Robo? You gotta, right? You gotta. Even though Krystianer's 3-gate Robo didn't really work out very well. And Trigger that went for a 3-gate Robo in game 1, but obviously went for a very safe, conservative 3-gate Robo in our main base, and it took forever to run to the other side of the map. Our final game of the day. StarCraft 2 will continue on this channel tomorrow morning. As soon as I'm awake, I will hop into the shower and then I will play a couple ladder game pieces, and then we're gonna get ready for Maru Hero, the finals of the Ronnie Cup. Happening online, by the way. It was supposed to happen offline, but apparently there was a scheduling conflict, and they now moved it to an online series. Just so you guys are aware, in case you guys missed that update.
Final round. Fight!
Final round. White Rabbit. Top right side. The man who won a couple weeks ago against Spirit. Can he get back-to-back victories in the main event? This is Trigger. And Rainer. For both of them, obviously, Rexy. They would have both played. But yeah, it is what it is. It's in the past. Can't change that anymore. We gotta move on. We still have a fun finals to look forward to. The bottom left side of White Rabbit. We are looking at the main base of our Polish Protoss. It is Krystianer. Hello, Dollar Admiral. Hello, Batman. You guys have joined us at the tail end of this exciting evening of video gameplays. Hasn't been the longest stream ever or anything, but I feel like it's been a lot of yapping. Today, I would get a license as a certified yapper. Because starting Game 3 Goblin Kalazur, it just feels like it's been non-stop. Almost no dull moments whatsoever, just battling, dramatic fights, run-bys, counterattacks, base trades, we've had it all. I hope that Justin will be as lucky as I am tonight. Isn't your job to yap? Yeah, for sure. But some days there's just less yapping to do, you know. Sometimes I might be a bit grumpy, or sometimes the games can just be boring. Like that's okay. I am not one of these people that believes that every single Starcraft game ever should be the most hyped thing ever, because it's completely unrealistic. Like, I'm a massive F1 fan, but some races are boring. Especially the races where Max is not doing well. They tend to be very boring. I don't know why that is. Sometimes an NFL game is very boring. A Super Bowl has been boring in the past. It happens. But today was not boring. Obviously, I love football, but a 0-0 is always boring. I know some people will say, well, I remember this 0-0. No, I refuse to accept it. Sorry, guys. A 0-0 is always boring. I have never seen a good 0-0 game in my life, and I will never see a good 0-0 game in my life. And that's okay. Was PSV final? I was casting in the beginning of that series. I was on the couch. And then by the time that I was over, I took a look at my phone. I didn't look at my phone during the games because I didn't want to be distracted. I didn't want to talk about football during Home Story Cup. And my game ends and I look at my phone. I see 3-0. I was like, boring. Yeah, I was done. And anybody that wanted to talk to me about football, I was like, ah. I never liked football anyway, guys. We don't have to talk about football today. Very boring. So Trigger going for a mega early Stargate here, guys, in Game 5. A very, very early Stargate. This was Stargate before a single gateway unit, so as quick as you can ever get it. Krystianer has gone for the 4 Adept opening, is not aware of the fact that the Trigger is opening with... Oh man, this could be so big, by the way. This could be so big for Trigger. Are we really going to close today out with a reverse sweep? I mean, that's heartbreak for Krystianer, but obviously it would be fantastic news for Trigger. Trigger is going to be so happy when he sees this. He's like, 4 Adepts? Okay, well, how much anti-air do you have at home? A while ago it was nothing. Now it is 2 Stalkers. Krystianer still has no shield batteries. So, Trigger, who is waiting for his second Oracle. First Oracle is here. Second Oracle is now joining forces. This... You're gonna take a beat down here, no? Does warp in 2 more Stalkers. Might kind of work out, but I still feel like you should always lose 5 probes. It can even be like 6, 7, but okay. Trigger actually doesn't go for the probes in the natural. He just wants to get as many in the main, but doesn't have the best Oracle micro ever, and actually only gets 4 and loses 1. Uh-oh. Well, that went as good as it ever would have for Krystianer, and that honestly was a bit of a slip up on the side of Trigger. And Krystianer says, I'll show you how to kill 6 or 7 probes. He's not gonna get 6 or 7, but he will get 4. And obviously Adepts are a little bit easier to get rid of than an Oracle. Trigger got greedy there, guys. Trigger just wanted the world. He didn't want to settle for the guaranteed 5 probes and keep the Oracles alive. He wanted all of it. And because we got a bit greedy, then we flew into 2 more Stalkers. We already took some damage on 1 Oracle. Then we even misclicked for a split second. And we ended up losing an Oracle and only killing 4 in the end. It's still not like the worst start ever, but it's nowhere near as good as it should have been. I don't know if us boomers can strike back against the Zoomer kids, where they love 6-7, we can love 3-4, but I don't know if that's gonna catch on. I feel like we're not active enough on the TikTok, so I think we just have to admit defeat here, guys. 3-4 is not a thing. We can go with fist with 3-4. Starting a trend. 4-1? I've never heard of that. But I'm always like 2 months behind Tinker, so I believe you, but I've never heard it. So, Krystianer has Blink. Blink is done. Trigger has Immortals. Well, has a Immortal. Soon has Immortals. As the second one is about to come out. What is he going to go for? He's going to go for Blink as well. So Twilight Council finishes up in the main base of Trigger, and he's going to go for his own Blink. Which means that he could send it, but he can also just go up to 3 bases. Can even go for one that's in a little bit of the middle of all of that. There is a shield battery and a sentry in the main. Oracle could theoretically drop a stasis trappy in the main base, but Trigger doesn't want to take the risk of losing it. Understandable. But Krystianer never got a robo in game 4. He already has one in game 5. And that observer is going to give him some information. Very early Templar archives on the side of Krystianer. Ooh, nice blink in the main base. Snipes the Warp Prism immediately. Now the question is, can we get out of here without losing too many Stalkers? Lost 2. Almost loses 3. It's still, I think it's okay. Like, resource-wise, it's not a good trade, right? Losing 2 Stalkers for a Warp Prism. But if you're on 3 bases and your opponent is on 2 bases and a potential early move out is scary, then I think it's an okay trade for Krystianer. Hello, Josh. It went very well. I always say the same thing about Home Story Cup. I love it, but it's just so exhausting. Because from the moment that I leave my hotel room until the moment that I enter my hotel room, I'm basically surrounded by people all day, and you talk all day, and you join this, you join that, and the days are very long. But it was a really fun weekend, and not a successful Starcraft weekend. Not the best bastard this weekend ever, but I am not worried about our boys. They will strike back, so we'll get it right. Trigger is going to try to get his first victory here today, as he has an Oracle flying into the Naturals, going to activate Pulsar Beam. I do think that Krystianer can take this fight. Like, that one Archon is nice, the Zealots are nice, Archons can activate multiple barriers. So losing a couple probes sucks, but winning the fight is pretty amazing for the man from Poland. War Prism shows up a little bit too late for Trigger, and he's probably going to end up losing it again. He's got a couple of extra Stalkers coming in. Trigger eventually feels that he can turn around and fight, but there is a Sentry, there is an Immortal, there's a second Immortal. You don't want to take this fight, Trigger. You want to stop, mate. You want to stop. You've done pretty okay, all things considered, but now you have to run home. And that's obviously bad news, because he is down a base. The third base is nowhere near done. Is it still Krystianer, guys, after all that drama? Great fight, man. Great fight for the Archon, Zealot, Sentry. Took care of the... no, he did not take care of the Oracle. The Oracle's still alive, but... Trigger did not expect his opponent to be there with that many Zealots and an Archon. Thank you for the Twitch Prime as well, mate, and the 16 months overall. Sunday was great. Sunday was very fun. We had a great time. We got out of it, out of the building a little late. I kind of wish that the grand finals were a tiny bit earlier, but we had a great Sunday. I mean, we had a great weekend overall. No, wasn't everything fun? Trigger trying to buy some time with his very low HP Oracle, but if there is one thing that Krystianer does not like to give his opponents, it is time. This man is Mr. Forward Blink. I know Hero is it in the Korean scene and maybe on the global scene, but let me tell you that Krystianer loves a good old forward blink, and this man will always try to end it at the first real opportunity he has to end it, and he feels that this is it. And I can't blame him. Like, he's got a 30 supply advantage, 30 army supply advantage. Trigger does get one of the Immortals, but look at the amount of Zealots showing up for the man from Poland. It seems like this Big Brain Bouts main event belongs to the man who played that epic best of 3 against Rainer earlier this month in Germany. He plays another pretty epic best of 5 this time in the main event, a 3-2 victory. And his impressive head-to-head record over his opponent just became even a bit more impressive. Honestly, fun series, and well done by Krystianer. Sad for Trigger. I got very close to the reverse sweep, but that was a good scrap, guys. That was just a fun brawl, a fun night of games. And congrats to Krystianer for walking away with the 200 buckies. Trigger will still get 50 buckies for playing. And that will do it. GG's, guys.